I firmly believe we had the right intentions. We wanted to win. We wanted to play the right way. That moment, like we wanted that moment.
What is happening with the Celtics? Even if you are a hardcore NBA fan, it is said that the Boston Celtics have a knack for putting fans to sleep. Yeah, we mean watching the NBA's best team makes us wish for an imaginary remote to speed things up. Let's see what's wrong with the Boston Celtics. It's a paradox, isn't it? The Celtics, despite having mind-blowing stats, are often perceived as boring. It's a puzzle that begs to be solved. See the stats. The Celtics lead the 2024 NBA by a great margin. The next closest team in the conference is 14 games behind them. To put this into perspective, we got the 10th-seeded Golden State Warriors. They were closer to the first-seeded Thunder in the West than the number 2-seeded Knicks are to the Celtics in the East. This illustrates even further how good this team is. They are a 64-win team, effectively tying them with the 25th the best team in NBA history. With the 25th the best record in roughly 75 years of NBA history, they rank in the top 1% of all teams. Despite being such an elite team with amazing statistics, the Celtics game is boring. We trace the problem to one person, the Celtics superstar Jason Tatum. In an era of unprecedented league talent, it's essential to recognize that Tatum is no ordinary player. As the driving force behind the NBA's premier team, Tatum embodies true skill. In fact, if we were to assemble a team around a single player, he would undoubtedly be among our top choices. Tatum has been a usual topic of conversation in MVP debates for a while now. He finished in 4th place in 2023 and again in 6th place in 2022 before taking 6th place in 2024. He will be a consistent MVP candidate for many years to come. Beyond these honors, his skill set is incredibly diverse, enabling him to excel in all areas of the game, including three-point shooting, mid-range accuracy, driving to the hoop, strong defense, and smart playmaking. He performs all tasks at an exceptionally high level. Ironically, this may be the first reason why watching the Celtics can seem a little boring at times. You see, even though their star player, Jason Tatum, is extremely skilled in all facets of the game, he doesn't quite reach his peak in any one area. He's proficient from beyond the arc, but his three-point shooting doesn't consistently surpass the elite 40% mark inside the arc. He's effective, but doesn't exceed a 50% shooting rate, and although he's reliable at free throws, he doesn't rank among the elite, nor is he especially good at drawing fouls to get to the line. He's the jack of all trades, but master of none. This can be the number one reason why the Celtics game is a bit boring. The second reason the Celtics might seem boring isn't just Tatum's lack of expertise in any one area of the game. His notably dull personality is also another factor. Here's a perfect example from the 2022 NBA Finals. When a reporter suggested that Tatum might be a superstar, his response was remarkably underwhelming. He nearly dismissed the idea, even though he was arguably the second most talented player on that big stage. See for yourself.
I guess you just comment about the superstar, whatever that means, right? I'm sure that I've seen it as a huge debate. Is he a superstar? Is he not? I want to know where that came from. Like, did I tweet that? Did I ever say that I'm a superstar or, I'm on the verge? Like, that never came from me. But it has been a big deal this last year and a half or 2 years.
While Jason Tatum's superstar potential is undeniable, there's room for him to truly own it. His statement earlier this year demonstrates that he's making strides in this direction.
Who do you think's the best player in the NBA right now?
Myself. I truly do believe every night I step on the floor, I'm the best player.
Let's give Tatum a round of applause for stepping into his superstar role. However, we can't help but chuckle at the delivery. It was possibly the most monotone big statement we've ever heard. On a serious note, Tatum's mere presence is a key factor in the Celtics' style of play, which some fans find a bit dull. One fan even went as far as to say that Tatum lacks personality, while another simply found him extremely boring. Nevertheless, it doesn't help that Jaylen Brown, the Celtics' second best player, is also rather boring to watch. Still, this does not imply that he is untalented. Though, like Tatum, Brown is an all-star and an NBA-caliber player, he hasn't perfected any one area of the game, which adds to the overall uninteresting show. Well, that's not totally correct. Even if the stats are not available to us with basic eye test statistics, we can assure you this. Jaylen Brown is probably one of the league's greatest transition players because of his exceptional ability to drive the court and finish for an easy basket. However, compared to players like LeBron, who is renowned for his highlight dunks, and Paul George, who is known for his 360 windmills, His skill in these situations isn't as showy or extraordinary. When it comes to Jaylen Brown, his finishes are usually either a routine layup or a safe two-handed soft dunk. Come on, give fans something exciting to watch. Consider the All-Star Game as an example. Brown held one of the most boring dunk competitions we've ever seen. The year before, contestants leaped over enormous objects, including giants like the 7'6" Taco Fall. However, Jaylen Brown decided to jump over a person who was only a little taller than 5 feet, and to make matters worse, the individual was seated. Do you get how boring that was? Imagine trying to jump over someone who is only 5'4" inches and even sitting down in front of millions of people during a dunk contest. And to further complicate the disappointment, he failed to pull it off. He had intended to dunk with his eyes closed for an added flash of flair, but he closed them only after the dunk was complete. To summarize, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are undoubtedly elite players. However, they're inherently boring, which consequently makes the Celtics fundamentally dull. The Celtics appear to be completely programmed by an algorithm, which is the third reason they come across as so uninteresting. In other words, their gameplay is predictable. Drive, kick out, pass around, and attempt a three-pointer. It's a bucket in transition after that, then carry on, swing out for an additional 3. They basically score half of their points in this manner in every game. And to put it simply, it's like witnessing a loop. In other words, they function much like a computer program. They continuously carry out the same monotonous plays over and over again, regardless of whether they are comfortably ahead of the game or well down. Jason Tatum, on the other hand, sees the Boston Celtics' opportunity to win the NBA Finals as a means of redemption following their defeat 2 years ago. The Celtics defeated the Indiana Pacers in 3 games to advance to the championship 7-game series against the Dallas Mavericks. Tatum, with a heavy heart, reflected on the 2022 finals loss to the Golden State Warriors. The pain of that defeat has become a driving force for him as Game 1 of the highly anticipated series looms closer. It's a lot that myself and we can learn from that experience being in the finals, and this time this go-around is a lot different. Tatum said. The Celtics were eliminated from the Eastern Conference Finals the previous season after losing to the Miami Heat. Boston has been unable to exact revenge on Golden State for their loss last year. However, Tatum is eager to make up for lost time. But what if the Celtics lose the finals this time too? Many will surely argue that Boston star forwards Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown should be split up if the Celtics lose. Some may even go so far as to say that the starting lineup ought to be broken down. Boston will remain mostly unchanged no matter how the NBA Finals transpire. In the league, the Celtics boast the most talented and deep squad, and lucky the Leprechaun is low on gold. According to Greg Swartz of Bleacher Report, Boston is expected to face a $85 million luxury tax charge. Boston is unlikely to pursue stars, but it might try to lower the luxury tax burden and add rotational players. Only Luke Cornett and Xavier Tillman Sr. are expected to be available for free agency next year since all of its major players are currently under contract. The loss may negatively affect the team's mental and emotional health. We hope this video was more entertaining than the Celtics game. Tell us in the comments. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and found it entertaining, then don't forget to hit that like button below. And if you want to stay updated with more great content like this, make sure to subscribe to our channel by clicking the red button and just ringing the notification bell so you never miss any future content from us. Your support means the world to us.